So Season 3 finally dropped, and it's time to test out these patch notes to see what they really do. Alright, let's go over my main, Alisa. So back 1 plus 2 fixed an issue in which advanced input was unavailable after missing or being blocked. So that sounds like a bug fix, that's whatever. It's this move right here. Nobody really uses it that much, so it's not too important. Forward 2 plus 3 fix an issue in which the move cannot be input while running. I think they mean during rage, so let's test that out. And if it is supposed to be one during rage, I see what they're talking about. Let's see. Yeah, that's a good change, because you used to have to dash up, return to neutral, and then do this, which made some combos pretty difficult to do, if not impossible. So that's a good change. Alright, next one's going to be 2, 3, 4. This move right here. So change the frame advantage on block from -19 to -13. So it's not launch punishable anymore. Shorten the recovery time after the move hits by 3 frames. So after I land this, what can I do? So you could do more follow-ups after this. Not really a useful change, because nobody really uses this move, right? You got 2, 3, 3, which is the mid option, but if you don't, it's not a 50-50. If you're a good player, there's not a 50-50, right? Because 2, 3, 4, you can totally react to it. You just see the jetpacks come out, and then you can jab them, you can jab her out of it, and then she gets a float, you get a float combo on her. So that's why I know Alisa player, you're not going to see a good Alisa player use that move. Alright, 3, 2, I think this is the first significant buff, in my opinion. 3, 2, it's this move right here. So change the first attack from 14 to 13 frames, so this is now a 13 frame punish, and that's really good, because other 13 frame punish is this move right here. But if you're against the wall, it's not gonna you know, like, well, actually if you're against the wall you get something, I guess, but this is a good 13 frame punish, because we used to just do this, which is 32 damage, but this is a little bit more damage. The other buff is that instead of -9, it's, oh, that's a nerf, -9 to -12 on block. But to me, that's not an important nerf. That's really a non-nerf, because nobody's gonna use this move in neutral. You know, nobody's gonna really do that move in neutral. And the other buff though is change the frame advantage from +1 to +5. So if she gets a 13 frame punish, she can do a mix up into that, this, or even the mid option. Alright, pretty good change. Forward 3, 2. So this move right here, change the damage from 1320 to 1027. This is her corkscrew into chainsaw. So that's actually a nerf. This combo here used to do 58 damage, and now it does 52. But that's not really a big deal. This move is like really good on its own anyways. Forward 3, 1 plus 2. This move right here. Alright, so it's the follow-up, it's the other follow-up to the move. Change opponent's behavior when hit. So it used to crumple the opponent on hit, and then you can get down 1 in chainsaw as a follow-up. But now it tail spins. Oops. Now it tail spins. That's pretty interesting. You could argue it's a buff and a nerf, depending on the situation. Change the move to send the opponent spinning when it hits them mid-air. So it's a corkscrew now. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. So she has a new corkscrew using chainsaws. Interesting. Alright, well, that's pretty good actually. Because actually this move is 13 frames. 13 frames. So you get a bit more damage at the wall. Although I guess you could just use this move to get the corkscrew. Alright, during boot 1, 2, 1, 3 plus 4. It's this one right here. Alright, so the damage is changed from 12, 13, 7, 5, 28 to 12, 13, 10, 10, 30. So the last 3 hits of this move got a damage buff. Actually, that's a pretty big damage buff. Let's see how much we do at the wall. Alright. Oh, that was not a clean wall splat. But that's a lot of damage. So that's a pretty good buff. During boot 3, this move can now be performed during dual boot 3. So boot 3 is this jetpack stance right here. Jetpack, boost, dash, whatever you want to call it. Dual boot is when she's got the chainsaws out. So now this move, this low here is available now, and this launcher is available out of chainsaw, out of dual boot. So that's really good because in chainsaw mode, she only has access to that move, this move, and a mid option right here. So she didn't have a low option out of her jetpack stance. So now that she does, she can mix you up with either this or that, which I guess is kind of the point of her new corkscrew. That's pretty good. Alright, so what else we got? Oh, I noticed that she puts away the chainsaws after using these moves, so that's extremely good because most people guarding against Alisa will probably just block, high, right? Because there's no threat of low attack incoming. But now there is, so that's good. A real mix-up. Alright, what do we got here? Down forward, 1+2. Change the frame advantage from -14 to -13. Okay, that's good. That makes sense because it doesn't crumple anymore. Shorten the recovery by 1 frame when the move hits. Okay, so it's just more plus, I guess, when the move hits. Change the opponent's behavior on hit. We know that already because of forward 3, 1+2. Change the move to send the opponent spinning when it hits the midair. Yeah, we know that already. And increase the range of the attack. Wow, that's a pretty big range buff. Actually, I don't know how far it used to hit, but that's already pretty far away. Alright, that's a pretty good buff. Alright, down back 2 to 1+2. So does this move into chainsaw? What is it? Fix an issue where the opponent's behavior would differ when they were hit mid-air when down back 2-2 is used. I can't say that I ever ran into any issues with that, so that seems like more like a bug fix than anything else. Down back 1-2, speed up the time in which the right hand is restored by 5 frames. Okay, well, I guess that's not really important too because nobody uses this move. It's an unblockable. Nobody should really be getting hit at this at a high level. But, and also the follow-up, you got a lot of time to follow up. Look at this. The character can bounce and you can still follow up. No big deal. Back 4, delay the timing in which the move is countered as midair after a counter hit by 1 frame. So back 4 counter hit. So I know what this move is talking about. So this move here, when you get a counter hit, you can do a number of things from it to get a combo. But sometimes you gotta do it kind of fast. So I guess they're giving you a little bit more time to convert off of a counter hit, which is always good. It's better than nothing. New move, back 4-4. Oops. There we go. Okay. This is a pretty damn good move. So I can really see a lot of applications to this, and it could go into dual boot, or it can go into regular boot. So let's see. Wow, it's pretty beefy damage. That's really good. And then you can do the chainsaw version of this, which I fucked up. Alright, pretty interesting stuff. I don't know what you could do with the chainsaw version of this move. We'll just have to experiment more later. But this is a really good buff. I think you could do more juggles after this too. Probably after a corkscrew. So let's test that out. Corkscrew. Yeah. Definitely a lot of combo opportunities thanks to this new move. Up forward 3. Change the attack startup from 20 frames to 17 frames. So this move here it's kind of a situational combo ender. It does a lot of damage, but there are limited ways to get into it. So I'm playing off of OBS, so my inputs and combos are not clean. Try one more time. There we go. So it's very difficult to get that move in a lot of combos just because it's the number of combos you could end this move with is pretty limited, right? So now that it's starting at 17 frames, there's probably a lot more combos you could use this from, like maybe this move right here. There we go. So if it wasn't for the wall, that probably would have comboed and that would have broken the ground if it was that kind of stage. But I think there's a lot more combo opportunities with up forward 3 being much faster now. So that's a pretty good buff. Up forward 4, or up 4 actually, just up 4. So decrease the move's forward movement, decrease the distance between the character and the opponent when the move hits or is blocked. So the first hit, that's the nerf, and then the second hit decrease the move's forward movement. So this move got nerfed in terms of range, and it's more punishable because she's now closer to the opponent on block afterwards. But that's okay. It's making a punishable move more punishable. So it's not too much of a nerf. The range decrease, again, not too much of a nerf. It's not like this move is good because of the range, right? The move is good because it's a hop kick. So this nerf is again, pretty insignificant nerf. During destructive form 1+2, so change the opponent's behavior when hit. So this is now a tailspin instead of a knockdown. It used to knock down off axis, but now you get a tailspin. So between this and this, that's better wall pressure, which is pretty good. I would say that's a pretty good buff. During destructive form forward 1, change the frame advantage from 0 to 2 frames. So yes, this move, which comes out super fast, is now plus, which is really good because that's just better pressure. Because they're upping up her chainsaw pressure end game, so they're changing a lot of moves for chainsaw. So I think this makes sense. During destructive form down to first hit, change the starter from 30 to 26 frames, so it comes out much faster. Fourth hit, change the frame advantage on block from -12 to -14 to -12. So it's less punishable now. There's not a lot of really good -12 moves. 12 frame punishes from crouching. Change the frame advantage upon hit from +2 to +4. So there's a lot more incentive to use this move now. Right? Nobody used that move because this is a better low. It comes out faster, it's harder to see. But if this comes out fast, and it's less punishable, that's pretty good. So a decent, not a big buff, but pretty decent. During destructive form, up 3+4, so it's kind of like her sidestep because she can't, I guess she can, but she can't sidestep 1. I'm just gonna call it sidestep 1 because she just does a side boot. Alright, so this move, change the frame advantage from -10 to -13, so it's more punishable. Decrease the distance between the character and opponent when the move is blocked. So again, more punishable, but enable the move to cause a wall bounce when it hits. So that's a buff. And change the opponent behavior when hit mid-air. I don't think there's ever a situation where someone would be hit by this move mid-air, but let's see what the hell they're talking about. Let's see. You gotta time it. Okay. I actually don't even know what it looked like when they got hit mid-air previously. But it's a pretty interesting change. Now wall bounces. It's unsafe, but now wall bounces. I think this is trying to encourage a different kind of gameplay with Alisa using her chainsaws. This is more plus, this is more plus, and it comes out faster. So I'm thinking, okay, you kind of like mix them up, right? And if they try to react in a way, you just do this, and you get your wall bounce. And on top of that, this is a wall bounce, and this is a wall bounce. So they made a lot of changes to her chainsaw moves. I think previously you could kind of argue that was pretty gimmicky, right? You mostly did this and this, um, sometimes this, uh, but now you got even more options to mix up the opponent. So that's pretty interesting. All in all, I would say Lisa got buffed. A lot of buffs, really. Her nerfs are pretty insignificant. There are moves that not gonna break her game. Like she still got all her powerful tools, right? None of her powerful tools got nerfed or anything. She just has more options now, right? She's got more chainsaw follow-ups, more chainsaw options, more combo options with back 4-4. So very good for Alisa. Let's see some Koda Core Grand Finals. Yeah.